Good morning. Good morning. Thank you. Thank you. Great to be with you. I hope you've had a good night and that you're ready for a good day. My dearest friend Mike Connoway has a message for us today, a powerful message about a synagogue leader called Jarius. I want you to hear this message, and I'll be right back after my dear friend Pastor Mike Connoway delivers this powerful message to you and I. Here he is.
There's a man standing on a seashore, and he's waiting for a boat to come in. The boat has Jesus and the disciples on it. I don't know how he knew, but he was important enough. We know his name to be Jarius. He was important enough. He was a leader in a synagogue, a teacher, kind of a guy like me. You'd call him a pastor now. And so he was aware of what was going on in his community, and Jesus was crossing over in a boat, landing on his shore. Here's the problem with this guy, though. He's supposed to have it all together. He's supposed to have the perfect family. He's supposed to be the perfect believer. But his life is falling apart. And I know what it's like to not be perfect, but for people to want me to be perfect. And I'm sure you do as well. You don't have to be a pastor to experience that, where you feel like everybody wants you to be perfect, but you know you're not. Well, he has to lay this down. I mean, he's well known, but in front of hundreds of people, he falls down at the feet of Jesus, right on the shore, and says, I have a daughter who's dying. She's 12 years old. Will you come to my house? What humility. You see, sometimes we hear stories where people have nothing, and that relates to all of us, because we've all been there. But sometimes we need to hear stories of people who have everything. Because at the end of the day, this man had something so important to him. He was willing to lay down all his pride, all his position. It doesn't matter if you're the CEO of a company. It doesn't matter if you're a woman running the world or a man who's in charge of all things. His daughter's dying. And the simple request, will you come and pray for my daughter? And Jesus responds, of course. So they're on their way. And that story is shared with the woman who has an issue of blood who gets healed on the way. But the problem is, as she slows the group down, there's a message sent to Jesus that the girl has died. And Jesus says something radical. And I think he's saying that radical thing to you and to me today. He says something extreme. He says, she's not dead, she's just asleep. Now I want to take a moment and not think about life or death. I want to take a moment and think about our everyday life and sometimes how we can feel dead on the inside. And Jesus said, she's not dead. And he's saying that to you. You're not dead. You're just asleep. I want to wake you up. I want something to happen in you that awakens you. He goes to the house and he lets very few people go into the room with this dead girl who he says is asleep. Just a couple of his disciples, and he prays for her and he calls out to her in Aramaic, which is not common. And he's saying to her, just rise up. It's time to awake. And she comes alive and she's totally healthy. You know, we never learn her name. The story is still about a dad who humbled himself and saw a miracle happen because he didn't care about his position, about his power. He was willing to lay it all down at the feet of Jesus. And I don't know where you're at. Maybe you're a business person who has a lot of struggles, a lot of stress, a lot of pressure. Maybe you're in ministry, you have a lot of struggles, a lot of pressure, a lot of stress. Maybe you're going through it in your marriage, you're going through it with your kids. But it's so easy to get caught up with keeping up an image. But the image can't save us. And the image can't turn us around. And the image can't bring us freedom. And we live in a culture and a world right now where we need to lay down our image. And what happens when we do that? We can take on the image of Christ. I want to invite you into a simple prayer to ask Jesus to change everything on the inside, to change your life like he changed Jairus' life in just a moment. This prayer is simple. Just repeat after me. Come into my heart. Jesus, I step down off the throne, and Jesus, I ask you to sit on that throne. Be the Lord of my life. I lay it all down at your feet. All that I have, all that I am, and all that everybody's expecting from me. I'm not going to live by that anymore. I'm going to live by one thing, what you expect from me. I'm going to serve you all the days of my life. And I pray this in Jesus' name.
Well, isn't that wonderful? Pastor Mike is one of my dearest friends in the whole world. We've spent a lot of time talking about the things of God together over good cups of coffee. Man, I remember the time in McKinney, Texas. By the way, that's where his church is. If you're in the area, go visit Mike there at Fearless House, a great church in the old town McKinney, the historic part of town. It's absolutely beautiful. But we had great talks. We would talk about, well, exactly things like this. What is God doing in the earth? About biblical characters. We would pray and we'd seek the Lord. And Mike is, in my world, a mentor to me as well, and has been a tremendous friend and is my dearest friend. So you're getting some of the best teaching I know to give you when I bring him onto the screen. All right, so I'll give you a little psalm to meditate on, and then I'll let you go. And it's from Psalm 97. For you, O Lord, are supreme over all the earth. You are exalted far above all gods. You who love the Lord hate evil. We'll stop right there. You who love the Lord hate evil. He protects the lives of his godly people and rescues them from the power of the wicked. Light shines on the godly and joy on those whose hearts are right. May all who are godly rejoice in the Lord and praise his holy name. One more time. You who love the Lord hate evil. In other words, we don't accept evil. We don't want to do it. We don't like it. We hate it. Evil brings no good. So what do? We strive to do what the Lord wants us to do. And we live in harmony with one another. We love one another. We lift one another up. We care for one another. And we're there for one another. Okay? So today, have a wonderful day in Jesus' name. Father, I pray that this day will be a day filled with hope, encouragement, strength, power, glory, and honor. In Jesus' mighty, powerful name. Have a wonderful day, my friend. I'll see you soon.